Now what is my video today? Of course, it happens to be with this, about this water fill valve. This here is called a toilet fill valve, and this one's universal, meaning that it basically fits in pretty much any standard height toilet such as this, the standard ones, okay? And this one happens to be from Fluidmaster. If you want to watch that, stick around. Now here's some important things to realize. The reason why I'm going to be replacing this is because normally every other time I flush this particular toilet, it runs and the water comes all the way up to the top and it starts draining right here at the drain line, and the water won't stop. I made numerous attempts at trying to adjust this, because there's a way to adjust that ball down there, the sliding ball. This ball right here slides up and down with this adjustment screw. Nowadays it's a plastic threaded screw. You can tighten it or loosen it, and that'll raise or lower this, because this is all threads all the way up there. So you tighten it, the screw, and this ball goes up. You loosen the screw and the ball goes down, I believe is how that works. And this was an older style. It had a metal one with a little pinch thing here that you do manually. You pinch that together, lift it up on the slide to raise the ball. Pinch it and push it down. That pushes the ball down. Well, nowadays they don't have one like that, but I tried to adjust it, and there's a way to clean this out. There's a way to lift that off, and there's a way to replace the gasket. I'm not going to replace the gasket on that, but you can get a gasket. See, this gasket will fit on there, and it fits on just Fluidmaster, the 200, 400, and 747 models. This happens to be a 400 series Fluidmaster. Will this go on a corky or a different type of fill valve? Probably not. And do they have something similar like this? Maybe. I don't know. Usually I do the Fluidmasters. I've had much luck with the Fluidmasters and all that kind of stuff. Easy to install, okay? Don't pay a plumber to come out here and fix this for you, because guess what? How many toilets do you have in your house? If you know how to fix one toilet, if you know how to adjust that and do all that kind of stuff, you know how to do different things on a toilet, then next time you have an issue with another toilet, guess what? You can fix that one too. But if you know nothing about it and you want to put your head in the sand and say, I'll just pay somebody to do this, $125 to replace that, or $150 to replace that? Okay. And then a couple months down the road, you have another toilet go out, and you know you're going to have to call up the same plumber. You know what the bill's going to be about, right? But if you can fix it yourself for less than $10, why not learn how to do that? Okay? Why not learn how to adjust things? Why not learn how to clean that? Why not learn how to test it? That's what this video is about. So if you want to watch that, stick around. So for all those reasons, because this old one is 24 years old, I might as well go ahead and replace it, and that's what I'm going to do. It's from Mother, and I'm not here all the time. I don't want to have any issues with this toilet having issues when I'm not here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and replace it with this one here. This costs less than $10 at most local hardware stores. This happens to be the Fluidmaster. It's the universal easy install toilet fill valve, it's called. Okay, it's this entire deal here, and I'm going to show you how to replace that on this video. So for that reason, I'm not even going to try to fix and replace the little gasket on the top of that one. I'm going to go ahead and not even open that. I brought this because if you're having an issue with your old one, and if your old one is less than, say, 5 years old, you can clean it out, and you still have problems with it, maybe you need to replace that gasket. And you can buy those gaskets, and that's like $3.50. But for this particular issue, bye-bye. I'm not using it, okay? I'm just going to use this brand new, spanking new toilet fill valve. And the first thing I got to do is shut the water off, okay? I got the valve over here, and I have not replaced this before ever, okay? And the first thing I want to do is this house is 24 years old, and I want to hope that I can shut this water off without the neck of that gate valve breaking, because it's hard plastic. Let me show you what I'm talking about, because I've snapped one of these off before. Okay. You see that? You see that valve there? You see the white business right there? That's the neck of the valve. And when I turn it, I'm hoping that that doesn't just snap off. If it snapped off, I wouldn't be able to shut this water off, would I? So that's why I always try to do this slow and hold my mouth just right. Okay, if that were to snap off, guess what? I'd have to shut the water off the entire house to replace this. Okay, so you might want to check to see where your existing water line is in case that were to ever snap off. Let's say it snapped off. Chances are, when it snaps off, you might have water pouring out of there, depending when you snap it off. Do you see what I mean? So then I would have to shut the main water off in order to fix this. Okay, I've got it shut off. Okay, and I'm going to flush the toilet now. And to get most of this water down, I'm going to leave the handle up as long as I can, and that'll allow more water to go down. Okay, but it's not gonna drain all of the water. Okay, I've got I'm listening. I don't think that handle's turned off all the way. I was afraid to turn it anymore. Okay. Okay, there. All right, I got it. Now, last thing you want to do is tighten that up too tight the first time, because maybe you don't have to. But I heard it. Okay. Now it's off. If your valve doesn't go off all the way, and if it's just barely dripping, let's say, once you disconnect all that over there, you could take the little tube that it's connected to, and you could put it in a bucket. I've done that before. See the line here that zipsy doodles up to the toilet? Once I would take that out, if that's dripping a little bit because I couldn't get the handle shut off tight, I could put that into a bucket or a big bowl from the kitchen or something like that, and then when it gets full, I can dump it down into the toilet bowl. You see what I mean? I could do something like that. I even had one time where it was at a condo in Maui that I used to live at, when one of the tenants had an issue. The owner called me, "Hey, Video Joe, can you go out there and can you replace that?" And do you know, in order to do that, they did not have a gate valve, a main water line gate valve inside the condo. The condo was attached to 12 units in one building, okay, to the building. So the entire building would have had to have been shut off, and instead of me, and one time I contacted the maintenance and I said, "Okay, I'm replacing this, and can you be right there by the valve, the shut-off valve, and I'll contact you by the phone." And I called him, and then I did this. I said, "Okay, go ahead and shut the building down." He shut the building down, and then I replaced this like in less than 3 or 4 minutes, and then he turned the water back on before anybody noticed, before anybody complained, and then it was done. Well, this time I did not contact the maintenance company, and I said, "Okay, is that night?" And I didn't want to disturb them. I think they had already gone. The maintenance guys had already gone home for the night. And so I disconnected it over here, and I just let it run. And it was on a natural stone tile floor in a bathroom, and I just let it run. And it was spewing out on the wall, on the floor, and I replaced this. And once I got it connected, before I had it adjusted and everything, once I got the fill valve tree put back on, I had to shove that pipe up on the bottom of that, and it still had full force on it, mind you. And I finally got that tightened up, and then I mopped. I had a bucket and a big sponge, and it took me about 10 minutes to clean up all the water, but I got it. Hey, there's always a way to do it. Okay, so now how I need to get the rest of that water out. I need to get the rest of the water out, and there's only, like I say, there's only this much, okay, in the bottom of there. Because if I don't take this out, when I disconnect this, can you see all this water is going to pour through the hole here at the bottom of the toilet tank. This is the tank, this is the bowl, okay? All that water is going to pour out down here on the floor, and I don't want that to happen. And it's cracked me up. How do you suppose you can get that out? You can get a big sponge. Well, this is all I have. One little sponge, one little dinky sponge, and I'm going to do it with that. And people sometimes have a hissy fit on that, like, hey, VideoJoe, why didn't you do that? Why didn't you use a shop vac? Yeah, you could use a shop vac. I don't necessarily have a shop vac here at Mother's house. In fact, I don't have one where I live. So a shop vac, do I really want to go to the hardware store and buy a shop vac and spend over $100 for a shop vac just so I can drain the rest of this little bit of water in the toilet? Absolutely not. And so I'm just going to do this, and that's all I'm going to do. And you might be like, what? It's going to take you forever. It's not going to take forever. One little bit at a time. Okay, just like that. And I'm putting it in the bowl because the bowl has nothing to do with the tank water, right? As long as I get the water out of the tank, I'll be fine. Okay? If I had a bigger sponge, I'd use a bigger sponge, but I don't. And I'm not going to go down to the store and buy a $7 tile sponge for something that's going to take me a minute or so with this little sponge. This is just a little kitchen sponge, and whenever it needs to be replaced, I'll grab the old ones and I use it for stuff like this, or to wipe up things on the floor when I'm doing construction work or cleaning the tile floor or something like that. Okay. Alright, so I'm almost done with that. And this is all you need to do. You don't have to be a professional plumber. You don't have to have that much knowledge of plumbing, as long as you just watch this video. And incidentally, I've got all kinds of, while I'm doing this, I'll tell you a little bit about some other things. I've got all kinds of plumbing videos, all types of things about a toilet, and all kinds of other things. In fact, I just made a whole video series on how to remove and install a new kitchen faucet. For my auntie, I did that. If you've never done that, that's on my channel. You're on my YouTube channel watching this right now, just go to the main channel page and you click on playlists. Okay, on the main channel page you'll see an area that's called playlists. Click on there, scroll down to plumbing. And any plumbing video I've got on my YouTube channel should be under plumbing. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna get in there a little bit more here and wipe up a little bit more, and I'll get right back to you.